13 News Now is breaking into programming this morning with breaking news out of Portsmouth. Take a look at your screens here. Right now, firefighters are battling a fire at Duke Street and Chestnut Street. We're being told there are 80 firefighters at this scene, so a massive first responder presence.
A huge fire that's taking place right now as we are taking this look of the smoke from our Skyview camera in Portsmouth. And that's where we have Brianna Fallon. She is there live now. Brianna, what can you tell us right now?
Yeah, so there's not a ton of information out right now, but if you take a look behind me, you can kind of see what's going on in this building on the 900th block of Duke in the intersection of Chestnut. So this fire has been kind of out of control since 9:30 this morning. That's when dispatchers received the call about the fire. The deputy chief says that right now there's no injuries at this time, and they did establish a collapse zone just to keep the firefighters safe during this fire. But so we actually just saw right before we came up, there was a little explosion inside the building. Now, the deputy chief says he's not too sure exactly what is in the building yet. That's still under investigation. We also did see a transformer on one of the power lines. Actually, two of them exploded from the smoke and the flames shortly before we headed on here. But yeah, everything right now is still under investigation as about 80 firefighters, like you mentioned, are still trying to put out the flames.
Hey, Brianna, if you can hear me, I see there's a sign behind you on that building that says something, I think, custom windows of Tidewater. Do we have any indication of what this building is or was, did the fire chief say?
Yeah, so they're still investigating the whole situation. Like I mentioned, they're not too sure what's exactly inside the building. One of the things they could say is that no civilians were injured as of right now, as well as no fire personnel. But yeah, that sign does say that it is custom windows of Tidewater.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that, Brianna. Duke and Chestnut, of course, where you are, we can see obviously that there is certainly a presence there behind you, but any update on how many street closures, road closures in that area right now? Olde Towne Portsmouth, obviously, certainly activity out there. Any update on closures outside of Duke and Chestnut in terms of the roads?
Yeah, so right now, the street directly over, so one block over, that road was also closed. Police do have that road blocked off. But as of right now, that's all that it looks like. But like I said, everything is still under investigation, and they still have a lot of work to do, the deputy chief mentioned, in putting this fire out.
Yeah, absolutely. We can still see the flames behind you there. Brianna, thank you for your reporting this morning.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can see the images there. They are on that ladder attacking that fire. Brianna, we'll try to maybe come back to that footage there for sure. But you can see they're working through. It'll be interesting to see how the wind, if there's possible wind that's in that area, plays into that. I know now we have meteorologist Craig Moeller here in the building. Craig, we can see it from our cameras here. Is wind going to play a part into them trying to attack this fire?
No, guys, the winds are very light right now. I want to start off with the radar because I'm going to zoom into Portsmouth and I'm going to show you the radar is actually detecting the smoke. So let's take this full, and as I zoom into Portsmouth, you can see this area again, just a 2-hour loop showing you how that plume is now being picked up by the radar. Again, this is Olde Towne Portsmouth. The fire is out there, and it's going to continue as we go here. As long as that plume is coming up into the atmosphere, we're able to detect that on the radar. So that's exactly where it's located. This is the view. This is our sky view, sponsored by Thompson Creek Window Company from the Jordan Bridge. Evan Stewart really zoomed in on this to show the plumes of smoke coming up. Now, what's interesting about this, as you take a look at it, you can tell the winds are light, and they are. I'll talk about the wind forecast here as firefighters battle it, but the plume is lifting straight up. You're not seeing it blowing sideways or fanning out. So what we're seeing here, again, the light winds, which is a real blessing for the firefighters. Again, the smoke is going straight up. Let's give you another view from that. And what I'll do is I'll take you to Nauticus, and we've got one of our cameras there at Nauticus also trained in that one. The banner is covering, so I'm going to take that banner off very quickly here and just let you know, again, that smoke coming straight up as we take a look at that again. and then eventually wafting off. We do have a light north-northeast wind, but it's only been around 3 to 5 miles per hour or so. So you can see, again, it is very, very light what's occurring out there right now. Now, as far as the forecast goes, all right, temperatures are fine, but what we're finding across the area, we are going to find the winds generally light over the next few hours. And as we get into that, you can see the winds have been around 5 miles. We're talking gusts here, around 5 miles per hour. That's next to nothing. As we take you through the next few hours, you're not going to see a lot of change here. The winds maybe in that 5 to say 7 or 8 mile per hour range through 11:30 up to about 7 miles per hour around Norfolk to Portsmouth there at 2 o'clock. So if firefighters are able to get this under control over the next few hours, winds will not be a big factor. But you can see as we go later into the afternoon, that becomes a concern. 13 mile per hour winds eventually tonight. Those winds will pick up 15 to 20. That's where it gets a little more problematic. So I want to let you know that. Currently, firefighters dealing with temperatures pretty close to 59, 60 degrees around Portsmouth. Again, this is Olde Towne Portsmouth where we're monitoring the fire. Here is what you take away from the conditions out there impacting the fire today. We have the light winds. That is helpful for firefighters. The recent snow has the ground at least somewhat damp. There's a little bit of low level or ground moisture there. So sometimes, you know, when we have these fires, you can have sparks that start to move off the fire or kind of fan out a little bit. I'm not worried about rapid fire spread or anything like that. Again, the recent snows have kept the grounds a little bit damper. And then finally, and this is key for a lot of folks, we don't have an inversion out there. Temperatures are warmer at the surface. It's colder aloft. So that smoke, as it rises, it's not pinned down at the surface where folks around that fire are gagging on that smoke if it were like trapped down near the surface. So some good news there. Again, conditions about ideal for firefighters having to battle this blaze, but it is still a big problem, and we'll continue to watch this. As far as the weather goes, we'll keep a close eye to those winds, and we'll let you know if anything changes.
All right, Craig, thank you for that. Yeah, we've seen so many social media posts at this point, people wondering what is going on in Portsmouth. So we do know this is in Old Town. Again, Duke Street at Chestnut Street. Please avoid that area for now if you can.
Yeah, it'll be hard if you're in that area not to see the smoke. I mean, you can see it from such a large distance away as they are tackling that major fire there in Portsmouth. And of course, as you said, stay away from that area as they're trying to do this for your safety, for their safety, so that the situation can be solved at some point as well. Again, as we have images for how far away you can see just how much smoke is going into the sky right now as those firefighters are bravely attacking that fire.
And we're still trying to get the details at this point. We know it started around 9:30 this morning. Crews were called to that area. Eugene, you saw a name on the building, and we don't know if that's still an active business or if that's abandoned, but you did see that name on the building.
Exactly. We did see that there was a name on the building, but even to that point, we don't know if there's any work that's currently happening in this place. We don't know if it's currently abandoned. We don't know what started this fire, and that's going to be a part of this process right now as firefighters are trying to put it out, obviously, and they have definitely a task on their hands this morning as we have more live footage there from our team on the ground. As you can see, those firefighters are really working hard to tackle this fire right now, and as they pan, I wonder if they're going to show us again so we can get a closer look of the fire, because when we saw it earlier, when our reporter Brianna Fallon was there, you can see even behind them just how heavy that smoke was coming there on what seemed like maybe the first floor of that building.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. Here we go. They're turning to it now. Again, so you can see that they have all these firefighters. We said 80 firefighters there tackling this fire. I wonder if we can still see those flames coming in through. So yeah, you can
make it out right there.
You can see it. I know we're zooming out right now, but if they were to zoom in, you could just see how powerful those flames are inside. And obviously they're tackling from multiple angles right now. So again, stay away from that area as we try to learn more and they try to do their jobs.
Yeah, a bit of good news here. No injuries reported at this time, but that could change. Make sure you stay with us on air and online. We're going to have continuing coverage of this as we learn more from officials. Yeah, we're going to have the latest updates ahead on 13 News Now at noon in just about an hour as well. And as always, you can find our broadcast at any time, available online and on our 13 News Now Plus app. You can download on your TV and watch for free.